When you're in times like this, you got high interest rate, you always want to buy below market, of course, but you're always trying to, you're trying to get rid of what you got in tough times in order to buy something better. I always try to buy the deal, now that I got more money, I can find a fantastic deal. I can pay cash for it or buy it however I need to buy it. I can pay cash for it, and then I can start selling off the other assets to roll into it, a reverse 1031. Beautiful thing you can do. But again, it's kind of something out there more for wealthy people. But the game when you don't have that kind of wealth, the tougher part is like having something sold and having to roll it into something better. Because at some point you're going, crap, maybe you can't find something worth deferring all that into. You start to think, let's just say you have a standard of buying stuff for 20 cents on the dollar. And there's people that do have that standard. Very, very hard to find. But it takes a patience that I don't quite have either. When you're going to buy stuff for 20 cents on the dollar, you're selling something and you expect to roll this huge chunk of money into buying something that if it's 20% occupied, it'll cover the mortgage. Now, imagine that, buying a property that's only 20% occupied and it covers your costs. You know what I mean? That's a high standard. So you're looking for that, and at some point you may not get that. And then you've got to decide, well, do I buy something that's 30 cents or 40 cents on the dollar, or am I better off taking the lumps and pay the taxes on this chunk of money that I made, and then take that 60% of whatever the gain is or whatever. When you have the cash and you've already paid, it's like it's like a drug dealer. They launder their money, right? Well, it's kind of like that way when you sell a piece of real estate. It's yours to defer until you either buy something and then you're like, okay, good. It's done. The money's done, it's clean, it's good. And now the other thing is now you don't make it. Well, now you got to pay taxes on this gain. So that's what I'm talking about, laundering. It's not a perfect term, but it's kind of the same thing. They're kind of like cleaning the money, and the only way you clean that money is you pay the taxes on it, and now you put what's left in the bank.
Would it be better to sell the property, or would it be better to just refi the property and pull money out?
It depends, because if you refi it, you still got to manage it. You still got to take care of it. And it's not as profitable, so it's not as fun anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's a good model. I've done a lot of that, is I buy property, buy it under market, and then I borrow against it. I remember I bought a property, and I still own this property. I bought a property for $1,050,000. And when I bought it, I basically paid cash for it. I had $1,020,000 to put down on $1,050,000 purchase. And the day that I bought it, the bank gave me a line of credit for $800,000. So the day I bought it, I closed it and I owed $20,000 on a line of credit, but I still had $780 available to me. So the day one, I bought it, closed it, and had a line of credit available to me for 2 years for $800,000, because that's kind of equity I had. And then I used that and I parlayed it and bought, I got a couple more really great deals that I financed with $400 down or $300,000 down or whatever. If you can buy in bad times and it pencils, you're golden. You know what I mean? If you can make something pencil and you're paying 8% interest rate on it and it still makes money and does well and there's a profit, you still got a reasonable profit made and a good amount of money on your equity, well, you're fine. And now when times get better, if it does, if it doesn't, whatever. But if interest rates go down in the future, you refi that, and now you're going to make that the delta of whatever the interest rate.